Hey guys, I'm back with a new tech tip for this week. If you're new to the group, if you've met us at the Capture Summit and you don't know me, my name is Ryan Baker. I'm a video producer that works in the Atlanta area, and I joined the Atlanta Church Creatives group back in May, and I've decided to put up a little tech tip video every week. This week, what I'm showing you is DaVinci Resolve. This is a video that actually a set of videos I've been thinking of posting about. I've been a professional video editor for about 8 years, and back in September, I was basically forced to switch to Resolve to work on a certain project for a company. So I had to learn Resolve really fast in about a week so I could do this project, and I ended up just completely switching to DaVinci Resolve for all of my video editing. Anytime I have to go back to Premiere, it's a real headache and nightmare. Actually, this week, a company hired me to edit some videos that they shot. When I sent them the video, they said, hey, you know, this looks awesome, this looks great, it's exactly what we're looking for, just send us the Premiere project file. And I didn't realize that they wanted everything to be edited in Premiere. And so I kind of told them, hey, I did do this in DaVinci, but I can do it, I can export the timeline, put it into Premiere, and then color it in Premiere if they wanted me to. And they said, yeah, go ahead and do that. And I had a really difficult time getting it to look as good as I did in DaVinci. And ultimately I couldn't get it to look as good. And so I sent them the video, and they ultimately just said, we're gonna go with the DaVinci Resolve version. And the reason for that is DaVinci Resolve's color, specifically its color management and its color correction software, is just so far ahead of any other program that I've used, that's why I use it. I actually like cutting a little bit more in Premiere. I think I can cut just a little bit faster because I'm used to it more, but visually the video always comes out looking so much better on Resolve, so I've switched to Resolve as my main editor. So the tech tip for today is that DaVinci Resolve is actually free. There's a free version of it, and it does most of the stuff that you're gonna need any video editor to do. I think it actually does almost everything that Premiere does. There is a paid version, and that is the version that I use, and that's actually the version that I recommend. The paid version comes with a lot of really awesome plugins that I use on almost every project. Number one being noise reduction. If you shot something that's pretty underexposed and is getting really grainy, the noise reduction that's in with Resolve is incredible. There's also some other effects like deflicker and things like that, but I'm actually going to do a series of videos over the next coming weeks of all the things that I like to use in Resolve, and basically why I like to use it over Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro. All right, I'm gonna show you guys how to download it, and also just take a quick look at what DaVinci looks like. And if you're coming from Premiere, I can show you some things that will get you more adapted to it quickly if you're coming from another editor. All right, so you can download DaVinci Resolve from their website for free. You can see here that they have a free download, and then they also have the Buy Now download, and that would be $295. And that is a $295 perpetual license, meaning once you buy this thing, you are not going to have to buy anything else. You'll get all the updates for it for free. $295, you have the program forever, rather than paying, you know, like a subscription fee for Adobe or anything like that. This is the site where you can download it, and you can also read about all the different functionality that the new version 18 has, and I'll also post the link to this site on the post itself, so you can just go straight there if you want to download it for free. And if we hop into Resolve itself quick, just so I can kind of show you the UI, and it is kind of different than Premiere, and it's going to be a little bit of a curve if you're coming from Final Cut or Premiere, a learning curve to start to learn. So I just wanted to kind of do a slight overview of at least the edit page in case you wanted to check this out and you're kind of confused where things are. When you open DaVinci for the first time, I think it might open up the media or the cut pages. I actually don't usually even look at either one of these. Just for this explanation of this, I've actually turn these back on. You can even go up to workspace and you can choose to just not see certain pages. So I normally have cut and media turned off. And what cut and media is where you're going to organize everything. So if you use the assembly panel in Premiere, this is basically what that is you have a larger space to just organize all your footage before you start editing. Cut, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what this is. I've never used it before. I think it's like a faster iMovie type version of editing. When I tried to use it a long time ago, when I tried it, this is the way that I thought DaVinci worked, and I thought, wow, this is horrible. Why would anyone use this? So I just don't even look at this. If you're used to editing in Premiere or Final Cut, the edit page is the editing page. That is what you're used to. It is the timeline that you are used to. Now, the biggest difference, and one thing that I actually don't like about DaVinci Resolve, is that you can't really move your panels around and kind of custom configure things like you can with Premiere. Maybe you can with a new version. I haven't really looked into it. But as far as I know, everything's basically fixed, which means if we turn everything off here, this is like your basic timeline. You have your video and then your timeline. And then if you want to see your other windows, they are up here on this bar at the top. So if we want to see your media pool, that's where all of our stuff is. So if you're using Premiere, then that'd be like your project files folder. It's all there. And this is a project that I'm currently working on. It's a video for Meals by Grace, which is a charity here in Atlanta, and I haven't organized it at all yet. I pretty much just dumped everything in and then had to export a few interviews for the client. But up here, you can also go to the effects panel, and this is just like the effects panel within Premiere. So you can go in here and find all of your different effects in here, and you can turn that on and off, but it basically just places itself here. I don't think you can really move it around. Again, you might be able to. I'm not really sure. It's not something that I really do. The edit index, basically just the history of all your edits, and then sound library. If you want to link different sound effects libraries, you can link those to Resolve. Personally, I don't use sound libraries in Resolve. I actually use a program called Soundly that I pay a subscription for every year, and basically Soundly lets me look for sound effects in a huge library that are all on the cloud. I don't even have to have them on a hard drive or anything. So if I wanted something like a punch sound effect or something, I can just go through here and find it, which is super easy. If you do a lot of sound design, that's a no extra tip. I think Soundly is awesome. So I don't really use the sound library. I usually have my media pool and my effects open most of the time. And over here on the top right are some more options here to bring up on this this top bar. The first is your mixer, and this allows you to see all of your audio tracks down here and kind of see how, monitor loudness and things like that. Then there's also metadata, which lets you look at the metadata of the current track that you're looking on. And then Inspector. Inspector is like your effects controls panel in Premiere. And so everything from changing, position and zoom, all of your transform stuff is here. You have cropping, you have dynamic zoom, which I've actually never messed around with. You have compositing, so if you want to do different blend modes like add and darken and screen and things like that, those are there. Opacity is also there. Speed change, which allows you to slow things down, speed things up, and I'm going to have something in a future video that kind of shows you how Resolve handles speed changes, and it's really cool, and it's better than anything that Premiere has to offer, that's for sure. And then there's stabilization. So instead of grabbing a warp stabilizer effect from your effects and throwing it onto a clip and then waiting, 2 hours or whatever for it to finish, your stabilization's right here. And I'm going to also do a future video about how DaVinci Resolve does stabilization, which is really cool. And I love how Resolve uses stabilization. Makes it really saves you time. And the next one, lens correction. So if you have like some warping or something in your lens, that allows you to correct that. And then runtime and scaling, which has to do with changing speeds, which will also be in my speed changing video. Then here at the top in your inspector window, you have a few other tabs. So there's audio. So if you want to change your volume and your pan and pitch, You can do all that here. Also, you have an equalizer built right into here as well. And then we have image. This is basically your metadata of your video. So I'm using Blackmagic 6K raw footage. And so you can see here that I have all of my raw settings. So if I wanted to change the temperature of this, I could. If I wanted to change the, the contrast and all of that here is in the metadata. And I'll have a future video on how I use Blackmagic's metadata when I'm coloring footage. And then finally there's file. So this is even more metadata. This is more the file metadata. So you can see that this is Blackmagic RAW. It's 29.97 frames per second. It's 6K. All that stuff is in here if you need to look at it. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you guys found this to be helpful. I hope this may have slightly persuaded you to try out Resolve and kind of see what it's all about. Again, over the next few weeks, I will be posting a bunch of other videos about Resolve and how I use it to basically speed up my workflow by a lot. Yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys later.